Thanks, Mr. Speaker. I think it went real well, and unlike maybe earlier in the year, I think the Senate and the House were probably as much on board as we have been. It helps that it was only a day, so not a whole lot could go wrong. But I think looking through what we've gone through in 2007, we don't take anything for granted. So a good day in the legislature doesn't happen accidentally, and so I guess I would commend not just the House, but both Republicans and Democrats, that everybody gave in a little bit so that we could get here. You cannot get done in a day accidentally, so all four of the caucuses had to contribute something, and there was compromise. And I think you saw it repeatedly, at least in the Senate. A lot of the restraint surrounding extra amendments, increases in the conversation about what we were here for, all of those sort of things were defeated, and typically not on party lines. They were unanimously or very strong majorities saying no. Let's get here. And I think what united us was we need to pay for the fires, and we did that. To the extent that a lot of us thought it was premature and early, we do think that. We think this probably would have been better to do later, but that being said, we're here, and so we paid for everything that we know is out there, receipt-wise, and we put aside some money for 2008 that we think ought to be perfect, and then probably the most important thing was we set the wheels into motion for the 2009 legislature to be able to put something together that's world-class, maybe something that the other Rocky Mountain states could look through and say, hey, look what Montana's doing with forest fires. Because it doesn't appear in the near future that this problem is going to go away, and it's one that's shared by a lot of the Rocky Mountain states. So hopefully that study committee that we funded, and hopefully some of the interim funding that we did will bridge us to get us to the next general session, and I would expect big things on this and many others. But I think my party thought is that it was nice to be able to work with the Speaker, President of the Senate from my perspective, and we actually all sat down and had good conversations and agreed that we need to have restraint.
I'd just like to also echo a little bit of what he said. That we did get along extremely well with the Senate leadership and House leadership. I think we showed the people of Montana that we can get along, and especially when we find some common ground, which is dealing with these forest fires. So I want to heap some praise on Senator Cooney and John Parker over here in the House, and commend them for the work that they did today in conjunction with the House Republicans. It's really important that the legislature, and we did this in this little miniature session, where we stood up and said that we're going to stand up for like Corey said, the constitutional rights of the legislature. We are separate bodies. I spoke to this very briefly on the opening day of the regular session, that we needed to really resist becoming a rubber stamp for the executive branch. And I say that regardless of whether it's Republican or Democrat. I'm pleased to say that we got that accomplished over the last couple of days. So I think this was a great day for the legislature. I think this was a good day for the people of Montana. And being the reasonable people that Republicans are, we felt like it was in the best interest of the legislature, the best interest of the people of Montana, if we did work with Senator Cooney and the Democrats. We chose to go down that path. And I think it bore fruit. I think Senator Stapleton would testify to that. Well, to me, that's the nature of a special session. You're only going to be here. That's why you don't want to open Pandora's box and start to bite off more than you can chew. What we heard early on was that we were going to basically take the money from the savings account, transfer it to the checking account to cover the costs associated with the fire. Then the more we looked into it, it looked like to us we were going to do a major policy shift where we were going to take what I consider much of the power of the legislature and give it to the governor. So in a one-day session, it's imperative that we really keep ourselves confined and concise. And if that aggravated Senator Cobb, it wasn't intentional. It's just the nature of only being here for a day, and we needed to get the major thing accomplished. And I think we did that very well.